Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Our largest single-theme land expansion ever.
Now we want you to share with us our latest and greatest dream.
Matterhorn Matt presents Matterhorn Mondays.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 105 of Matterhorn Mondays. I'm your host, Matterhorn Matt.
And I'm Alex the Historian.
And today we got a really great stream planned for you guys. I just drank a lot of water and my stomach is very full right now. If I wiggle around, I can hear the water in my stomach. Do you guys know? You guys know what I'm talking about. You've all done that before. You drink a lot of water laying in bed, you wiggle your stomach, and you just hear the water sloshing around. Anyways, I don't know why I said that. It's gonna be a great stream, everybody. I guess as you all know, links to all the Discord, all the Twitters, all the Instagrams, Patreons will be down in the description below, as well as a link to Alex's channel. And you know what? We haven't had Alex run down what kind of videos he makes, and he recently put out a history video about It's a Small World. So, Alex, why don't you go ahead and take a few minutes to go ahead and explain what kind of videos you make on your YouTube channel, just in case we got some first-time listeners tuning in who don't know who you are.
I think you just did. I'm just kidding. Okay, so, all right, so folks, I am Alex the Historian. If you've never seen or heard of me before, I make really detailed Disneyland history videos. They're all about Disneyland's history, and the videos include things such as technical details of how the rides and show effects are done, sometimes even how they're constructed, things like that. I go into a lot of detail about the rides, and I'd like to think that my videos are something that you really can't find anywhere else on YouTube, as well as the fact that I also have another series where I go into Disneyland and I film vlogs of my experience at the park just about every week. So it's a really cool channel, and it's a great way to, and I also do tours of the park. So I go through the park and I film a 4K tour, either a silent one where I just allow you to experience the park and its details just as a walkthrough, or sometimes I literally do give you a tour of certain things about the park. So it's really fun. You should head over to my channel and ignore Matt's channel.
I don't even have a YouTube channel. What are you guys talking about? Alex is the only YouTuber here. I'm just a podcaster. But anyways, we do have a few birthdays to detail this week. If you guys would like to be wished a happy birthday live on stream, you can do so by clicking the link down below. You open the Google Doc, submit your name, submit your birthday. You don't have to say how old you are. We can all be 5 years old. We can all be 10 years old if you want. We can all be 16 years old, however old you want to be. But yeah, today's birthday, actually, Saturday the 7th, is Jay's birthday. We said that last week, but again, I guess that's a double happy birthday. It's our first time we've ever said happy birthday to two people, or to one person twice. So happy birthday to Jay. Also, last Thursday, the 5th, was Alex's, his father's birthday, Joseph. So big shout out to Mr. Joseph. Happy birthday to him. How old did you, or I guess, I don't know if it's too personal to say how old he turned, or...
I don't think he minds that much. He just turned 49 this past, let's see, it was the 5th. What day was that? Thursday. Yeah. So I did say happy birthday to him, but tomorrow I'm taking him and my sister out to brunch to celebrate. So it's going to be fun.
Tomorrow as in Sunday, because tomorrow
Yes.
as in Tuesday, because it's Monday when we're recording this, right, everybody? That's how it works. But yeah, like I said, if you guys would like to be wished a happy birthday live on the stream, do so by clicking the Google Docs link down in the description below. Yeah, I do believe that is all for the announcements. If you guys would like to leave a voicemail on your opinions on any topics we're talking about, or if you just like to say hello, we like those, sort of casual style voicemails where you call in, just say hello, ask us how our day is doing. You can do so by dialing on your rotary phone, 575 386-5814. Or if you guys have a pager, I'm sure you can page the number as well, if they still make pagers. We'll be listening to them throughout the stream. We're excited to hear what you guys have to say about the topics we have today at hand. And before we get into this week's news from the Peak, let's see what kind of Snapple Matt's drinking. I tried to do like a jingle, but that didn't work. If you guys, anybody listening knows how to make like a real sick jingle for Matt Snaps, hit me up. ytmatterhornmatt@gmail.com, or you can just message me on Twitter or something. Whichever you prefer.
We could just go, Matt Snaps.
Oh, that's good. I like that, actually. It's simple. I like it. But yeah, we're going classic again today, you guys. Just like last week, we got the classic peach tea Snapple. Life's a peach, you guys. Wow, everybody's watching on Facebook now. William started the Facebook train. Now we have Avery on Facebook. We have Autumn on Facebook chatting. Welcome to all our Facebook friends. Let's go ahead and pop this bad puppy open and see what kind of fun fact, real fact actually, we have for today's stream. I can't open it. It won't open. Oh my god, it's like super glued shut. Okay, here we go. There we go. That was a good one. This is real fact number 804. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Of course, you have 4 quarters, you have 100 pennies, you have 500 nickels. However you guys want to do it.
Okay. I thought you were seriously going to try to list them all. I'm like, no.
I mean, I can, but then we'd be stuck here for 580. How long did it say? 800 some hours? Whatever. Anyways, you guys, I said this last week as well. We do have some brand new Matterhorn Matt merch on the merch stream, or on the merch page, I guess, on our Etsy page. We have our brand new Matt Snaps pins, not Snapple related. Snapple, if you're watching, this is not Snapple related. It just happens to look like a Snapple bottle and have an image of someone snapping on the bottle. But I'm actually going to focus it for you guys today because I was rewatching the stream last week, and you couldn't exactly make out what the heck I had in my hand. That's just my face very close up. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's real beautiful, isn't it? It's a Snapple pin. What a great bargain, too. Wow, only $8 on Etsy. And if you use code BEANS, you can get free shipping. Wow, who knew that? Alex, have you ever heard of such a great deal on Matt Snaps pins before? I don't think I ever have.
Well, I know I haven't. That is quite a deal.
I know. My Dumbo magnet just fell off my microphone stand. But it is a great deal, you guys. Link will be in the description to purchase these Matt Snaps pins. And we also have a Matt Snaps t-shirts on my, what is it called, Teespring page. But enough of the plugs. You guys know all the links will be in the description as always. Let's get to the bare bones, the meat of the podcast, you guys. News from the Peak.
We now present to you news from the Peak.
For our first bit of Disney news, very sad news to all you Epcot fans out there. I saw a lot of people on our server on Twitter just bawling their eyes out. New Epcot map shows the removal of Club Cool, character spots, and more. I'll go ahead and switch to that image as we speak currently. Oh my gosh, wait a minute, that's not the image. Wait a minute, is that Jeremy as the guy from the Iron Giant? Did Jeremy play that guy? Was he modeled after that? Oh, wow. I didn't know we had such a celebrity on our stream last week, but I'll go ahead and switch to the real image, you guys. There it is. As you can see, Future World is dying as we speak. Construction walls went up, I believe, this weekend, so very sad to all you Club Cool fans. Like I said, the new map shows the removal of the Fountain of Nations, Club Cool, the Starbucks, and the character spot, all of which closed their doors, mostly forever, on the 8th of September. So guys, it's starting, you guys. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Can we get a big F in chat for Future World, for Innoventions? What is that? Innoventions West, I believe? I think Future World is to the south, and World Showcase is on the north. So it'd be the east side of... I don't know. Anyways, James said in chat, DSMI Newscast did a great video yesterday about Epcot, I do agree. If you guys have not checked out DSMI Newscast's recent episode on the future of Epcot, construction, all that stuff, I'll have it linked in the description for you guys. And for our second bit of news from the Peak, this is a doozy, you guys. I'm sure you remember us reporting all about this wonderful lad. What is his name? Patrick Spikes, aka Backdoor Disney. We got some updates regarding him. Back in May, 24-year-old Patrick Spikes, also known as Backdoor Disney, was arrested and accused of stealing over $7,000 worth of costumes and props from the Haunted Mansion in the Magic Kingdom. He was charged with, quote, burglary of a structure just recently on August 26th. I've never heard that term before, burglary of a structure. Reports state that he entered an off-limits area in Epcot with the intent to commit an offense. Very strange wording. I guess it's legal stuff. Sometime between July 23rd, 2018 and January 8th of 20... I could have just typed it wrong, and I'm just blaming the policeman for saying such weird phrases. But yeah, reports state that he entered an off-limits area of Epcot from either July 23rd of 2018 to January 8th of 2019, somewhere between there. They believe he entered there with the intent to steal stuff, resell it online. He's also the prime suspect of the missing... This is a cold case, you guys. This will be on what's that? Well, Unsolved Mysteries with what's his name? Patrick. What's that? Whatever the narrator is, his name is. It's going to be a future episode on that. I'm 99% sure. He's a prime suspect in the missing Buzzy animatronic from the Wonders of Life Pavilion. And as of September 4th, Spikes has pled not guilty to all of the charges and is scheduled to appear in court on the 19th of this month. So very interesting. Alex, do you have any thoughts you'd like to say on Mr. Patrick Spikes pleading not guilty when it's basically all the evidence points towards him, stealing all the Haunted Mansion props and costumes and trying to resell them on the black Disney market?
I think it's awful. I mean, it's not fair. These rides and attractions are not for everyone to just go and grab stuff and start stealing it and selling it. It's like he thinks that because it's a public company and they can easily replace that stuff, which is true, doesn't give you the right to go and take stuff. It's like, imagine what these classic and amazing attractions would be like if everyone was pilfering and selling these things. It's just not right. I can't stand it when people steal things. So makes me sad.
I agree. I cannot stand when people steal things as well, except when Buzzy stole my heart. I'll make an exception for that.
Wow.
Yeah. Him and I have been secretly having an affair. I don't know how many of you guys know. Buzzy's actually sleeping in bed behind me. I'm trying not to disturb him. That's why I'm being so quiet. But anyways, onto our second bit of news from the Peak. This was a very interesting piece of news that Alex sent me, which I was not aware of. Let's see. An Alaska woman sues Disneyland after bumping her head while exiting Space Mountain. Now, this is a pretty wild, like I said, never heard of this before until now. Pretty wild case we have here. An Alaskan woman is seeking $3 million in court after she suffered a head injury while exiting Space Mountain. The woman claims she was quote-unquote violently struck, or that she quote-unquote violently struck her head against a low concrete ceiling after the ride broke down. While they were exiting the ride, a cast member instructed everyone to look down, watch their step, but did not warn the riders of the low ceiling. She later went to the emergency room and was diagnosed with a concussion, and she was eventually diagnosed with traumatic brain injury and permanent impairment, requiring quote-unquote extensive continuing treatment. So pretty wild, you guys. Alex, since you're the one who sent me this article, what are your thoughts on this very wild news case that broke out?
Well, I know everyone is quick to judge someone who sues Disney, but this is one of those rare cases where this really wasn't the woman's fault entirely. So the thing was that this happened at Disneyland, at the Disneyland Space Mountain. And according to the story, The ride vehicle was suffering a malfunction. So what they did was they moved the ride vehicle with the guests on it into the backstage maintenance area and unloaded the guests from there. Now, I've been in that maintenance area. It does have pretty low ceilings, and normally they have the lights on. But according to this story, it was very dimly lit, which tells me that they still had the work lights turned off, because it is a maintenance area that is technically visible from the very beginning of the ride. So while the ride is in operation, they keep the lights off. So someone didn't turn the lights on when they moved the ride vehicle into that area, and they kept the lights off when they were unloading the guests, which is not according to protocol. So the ceilings are dark concrete. It's difficult to see them in the dark. The cast member did warn the guests to watch their step, but as she got up from her seat, she didn't see how low the ceilings were, and she struck her head. It was an accident. From everything that the story says, it really was an accident. And she didn't take immediate action. This happened back in 2017. And the cast members helped her out. She went to the emergency room later on and was diagnosed with a concussion. A doctor diagnosed her with that. That wasn't just something she claimed as like fatigue or something. It really was a diagnosis. And then as time wore on, she acquired some difficulties, and she later found out from a lot of medical care from doctors and things over the years that she had traumatic brain injury from how hard she struck her head on the ceiling. And so she's seeking $3 million. That sounds like a lot, because most people, they slip and fall on a floor, for instance, they sue for maybe, a couple tens of thousands of dollars. But this woman is suing only for the money it costs to pay her medical bills and for her housing, since she couldn't work during all these years. So it's not like she's suing for anything else, such as emotional trauma. No, she's only suing for her medical bills and her housing, which it's cost in these past 3 years, nothing more than those 3 years. So she's being very fair about it. And it all did stem from an accident, which could have been avoided if the maintenance lights and work lights had been turned on, as they should have when unloading a ride vehicle. So that's kind of my opinion on it, is that it's fair. It's not asking too much for what it is. And medical bills after 3 years of being treated for traumatic brain injury and head trauma, that makes sense. Yeah. Around like $2 or $2.5 million worth of medical bills after all those years and stuff. I mean, she can't, from what I read on another article, she was wheelchair bound, so she can't walk, she can't move the way that she used to. So anyway, I think it's pretty fair. It was an accident, but it was something that could have been avoided by Disney.
Yeah, again, I hadn't heard about this until Alex sent me the link. Very interesting article. I guess we'll cover this if there's any future news regarding what the outcome of the lawsuit happens to be. If she gets awarded the $3 million, I'm sure they won't publicly, address that. Do they? I don't think Disney normally publicly addresses when they win or lose a lawsuit, so there probably won't necessarily be any other news coming out of this, but if there is, we'll keep you guys updated. Anyways, I believe that is it for this week's news from the poop. I mean, oh my gosh, news from the peak. Where did that come from? That was weird, but anyways, we got some really interesting updates for this week's Alex in the Parks segment that will segue into our first topic of the day. So let's go ahead and get right into Alex in the Parks. I should get like a guitar to play along with this. For this week's portion of Alex in the Parks. Alex, would you prefer for me to just go ahead and play the clip, or would you prefer to give a preface of what the clip entails to everybody listening or watching at home?
Nah, just play the clip.
All right, we're playing the clip, everybody. Let's go ahead and get this train a-rolling.
I figure I'll update you on a little bit of construction happening around here. So, the rocks that they moved over there, they're completely gone. And did they get rid of more? No, those ones are still there. Okay, well, anyway, this scrim showed up. So this is the Star Tours entrance, and this giant construction scrim showed up in this area. It's been photographed to look just like what was there before, which is from the 1967 new Tomorrowland. They installed these fiberglass panels that are kind of interestingly shaped. That's what it should look like, is that one over there, and it's got this really neat curvature shape to it. I hope they don't get rid of it necessarily unless it's replaced with something really awesome looking, because this is really nice. This is really mid-century modern. Really, I find it cool. Maybe some people don't. But anyway, hopefully if they do replace it, it's with something really neat, some kind of sculpture or feature that looks awesome. So, yes. So this was really interesting because when I filmed this the other day, this was on Wednesday of last week, it seemed like it was kind of just like a refreshing or refurbishment of the little panels that I was just talking about. But then one of me and Matt's sources showed us something that was it was an announcement given to Disney cast members. So pretty much every cast member who works in Disneyland knows of this now. So this isn't like extremely private news. But the information that Disney gave the cast members was that the entrance to the land was being widened to make for easier traffic flow when it came to the guests. Part of this was that the northern side where Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters is, the main entrance would be kind of blocked by construction walls. The main entrance of Astro Blasters, not just the rock work that they've been removing. So it seems that Disney is shaving some of the building facade work that is on the Astro Blasters building as well as the Star Tours building in order to just add a couple more feet to the walkway. They might even decrease the footprint of those ride entrances because those kind of have this bottleneck to it. And yeah, I don't really know the full extent of what they're going to be doing, but Disney has said that the ride entrance to Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters will be blocked for the most part. However, the ride will remain open. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but they're going to make it so it works, and guests can still enter through the main entry archway of Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. From there, they will take them into the building somehow behind construction walls or something. So yes, so I'm guessing that the planters at the entrance of the land will probably be reduced. And like I said, there's those triangular pieces that stick out, not exactly the right entrances, but part of the sculpture of the building that might be reduced and widened just by a few feet each. So that way they can decrease the bottleneck in the land. Part of the reason why they're also redoing the area in front of Buzz Lightyear is because that happens to be a much narrower area than on the right side where Star Tours is. So they kind of want to bring that more even. So that way it once again, it just reduces the bottleneck. As we all know, Astro Orbiter being right there at the entrance of the land causes huge issues. But they're trying, without moving the Astro Orbiter, they're trying to make more space. I applaud them, for this because, as you all know, it is incredibly frustrating on a busy day to get in and out of Tomorrowland in that area. And it was even in 1998 when they put the Astro Orbiter there. So anywho, that's kind of the current project for now. And it's kind of funny because the reason why I wanted to mention this and why I thought it was kind of important to mention it is because I can't help but wonder if this is, leftover project work from Project Stardust. When they were building Galaxy's Edge, they were widening a lot of the walkways in the parks to make ready for Galaxy's Edge. And I think some of them were pushed forward into the working project list, and some were pushed backwards to be done after Galaxy's Edge opened. So I can't help if this is still part of Project Stardust that just hadn't been done yet. Or here's the other interesting thing. So it could be part of a very slow process of redoing Tomorrowland. I know that a couple weeks ago, I had kind of predicted that that Tomorrowland would be a new Tomorrowland would be announced at D23, which it wasn't, which was very disappointing for a lot of people, including myself. And some of my insiders have been saying, well, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening, just means that they weren't ready to announce it yet due to how early they announced Galaxy's Edge and how that turned out. So anyway, this could be a good thing. This could mean that, a new Tomorrowland is slowly on its way, piece by piece, or that they're getting ready to open up the entrance so that way they can do a new Tomorrowland by moving larger vehicles in and out in the middle of the night through the new widened Tomorrowland entryway, that kind of thing. It's really hard to say, or it could just be as simple as, one of the last remaining Project Stardust projects that they chose to leave for after Galaxy's Edge opened. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. And for me, it's kind of interesting to think about that stuff and kind of try to figure out what is Disney doing here? What are they thinking? So, yeah.
Excuse me. I thought my mic was muted. I guess it wasn't when I did that. But anyways, Nate just asked, why can't they just get rid of the Astro Orbiter altogether? I feel like it's because it's not a very high capacity ride, but it's a ride in Tomorrowland, and I feel like a lot of people would be angry if they removed a whole ride out of Tomorrowland when there's only like 2 other rides there to begin with. It would be interesting if they did decide to just get rid of the Astro Orbiter. That's what we were sort of thinking when they sort of dismantled it a few months back. And but it turns out that was just for, maintenance work, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, very interesting stuff.
I think that the reason why they haven't just moved the Astro Orbiter is for the same reason why they placed it in the front of the land in 1998. I mean, obviously they knew that this heavy Astro Orbiter would not be able to sit safely on the top of the People Mover platform like the old one did, or still does. And the thing is they could have easily demolished the old platform to make way for a new Astro Orbiter loading area that would have been in a much better spot than it currently is. But I think in the end, the whole thing is money. It costs money to demolish stuff, and they didn't want to spend money on demolishing something, because then they would have had to demolish the whole rest of the track that goes down the center of the land, and that would have just been a whole lot for adding this Astro Orbiter spinner ride. So I think the reason why it's still there at the front of the land is simply for the same reason. They just don't want to spend the money to demolish anything else in Tomorrowland for a spinner ride. Yeah.
Yeah, Nate said who would be angry about losing the Astro Orbiter. I mean, I know we as Disney Parks fans would say that, but the Astro Orbiter is a favorite to a lot of the kids who visit Disneyland. I know it sounds kind of weird to say. There are fans of the Astro Orbiter out there. We may not be one of them, but like I said, the little kids like to go up in the rocket ships and spin around. It may not be that exciting to us, but it is to, all the children. And again, if you get rid of the Astro Orbiter flat out, then there's really no other rides for kids. Well, I guess that's not true. There's still Autopia and the submarines, which I guess is a kid ride. But yeah, just one extra attraction to get rid of in Tomorrowland. I don't think it's worth it to just flat out close it.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys think about it, over the past couple decades, Disney has been making more and more rides for Disneyland that are not for the very, very, very young kids. I'm talking like toddlers and stuff. Astro Orbiter is one of those rides where small children can ride with their parents and stuff like that. And since they are still have no plans to put anything in Disneyland that is safe for very small children to ride, it's one of the few places that they can ride something. What am I trying to say? It's one of the few rides left in Disneyland that they can still ride with their parents.
Yeah. I guess I don't think there were any new updates regarding the rocks that were removed.
I already mentioned it in the video, which you probably didn't watch.
Oh no, I just wanted to double check.
Okay. So as for the rock work, there's been no noticeable developments. No more rocks have been removed besides that one set that hid the bunker which operates the Astro Orbiter. So as you can see in that Google Maps that Matt is operating there, that one set of rocks on the north end there, that tiny set of rocks there, is the only one that they've removed. The larger set, which is much longer and extends all the way towards Buzz Lightyear, is still there. And yeah, but as far as I know, I've seen a recent picture of the area, and what they've done so far after removing those rocks is they were in the process of lowering the curbs on Main Street. So they're getting ready to pave that with a bunch of the bricks and stuff like that. And then they've pushed back the planter a little bit to add even more walking space in front over on Main Street. So yeah, it's just more space for people to stand and watch the fireworks, I guess. But yeah, Disney did say that there was still plans to remove even more rock work on the north side. So those rocks there might still go. Or maybe the only rocks they planned to remove was the ones they just did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, it is really interesting that they decided to just remove that small clump of rocks when there's like 500,000 other rocks surrounding the entrance of the land. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I mean, you'd think they'd remove all of them in one go, not just this one little section, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't actually seen any images of what it looks like currently. Are there still construction walls up for where they removed the rocks before?
Yes, it was in the video you just played for everyone.
I must have missed that. I must have missed that part then. Well, I guess I was under the impression that they had already finished all the construction and paved it over. So yeah, I don't know where my mind was, but
no, I was just saying that they're getting ready to put the paving stones in.
Okay, I was very confused for a second there because I was sort of getting mixed messages.
What exactly is in that Snapple bottle that you're drinking?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's like 80 grams of sugar. No, it's only 40, but, sugar is sugar. Yeah, did you guys see that dad who was waving at the Google Maps thing? That was pretty cool, right? His face is blurred. He's missing like 3 of his fingers. His fingers are cut off. I hope he's okay. I hope he didn't lose his fingers in an Astro Orbiter accident. But anyways. Anyways, let's go ahead and exit out of this Google Maps. Yeah, I think, is that everything that we had to say in regards to this new Tomorrowland entrance news?
I think that's. Oh yeah. So supposedly, the work at the entrance of Tomorrowland finishes on the 12th, I believe. They said Thursday the 12th. So that'll be interesting. It's like about a week from now, we'll be able to see what becomes of this, and even less of a week for people who are watching this on Monday, which is today.
Oh yeah, because it's Monday, you guys. It's Monday the 10th. 9th? Whatever. You guys know what I mean. But anyways, yeah, we'll be covering this extensively in the future episodes. Hopefully the construction is done in time for the show next week. If not, then I'm sure we'll provide some construction updates, and then the following week we'll provide some full-fledged, amazing 4K footage of all the completed stuff, thanks to Mr. Alex the Historian here. Like a deer in the headlights right now. Anyways.
Just push me in front of that bus.
Yeah, where's my Michael Jackson he sound effect? There we go. Anyways, I don't know if we should do our next topic or go to a sponsor break. I think we'll go to a sponsor break, and then we'll discuss our next topic after the break. So let's go ahead and get the sponsor video underway. If you guys are wondering where you can find even more family-friendly live streams just like this one, head on over to theliveplace.com. The Live Place is your headquarters for great family-friendly live streams. They cover anything from Disney to other vacation spots, various variety shows, and have some amazing streamers like Resort TV 1 and myself. Also, be sure to check out puckermint.com, where you can find amazing pins and stickers. Puckermint is based out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, just a few hours from where I live, and since I'm a big believer in supporting local artists, we decided to partner up. Be sure to use the coupon code down below when you make your next order. Again, that's puckermint.com and puckermint on Instagram.
We now present to you
That's not right.
news
That's not right.
from the peak.
That's not what I wanted to do.
So many technical difficulties on this show.
That's not what I wanted to do. I mean, yeah, guys, this is part 2 of News from the Peak. For our second bit of News from the Peak, did you guys know there was 40 grams of sugar in my peach tea Snapple? That's a lot of sugar, you guys. Anyways, yeah, apologies for I think I don't know if it was the same on your end, but the audio was way out of sync to what my mouth was, the video was doing. It could just be my computer pooping its pants. But anyways, we do have some voicemails that I'd like to get to before we move on, and I believe someone is going to text us. I guess it's worth noting you guys can text the number if you don't feel like calling in. You can go ahead and shoot the number a text. That number is 575-386-5814 if you'd like to text or leave a voicemail on your thoughts on any of the topics we're talking about. Let's see. Here's my question, Matt. There's no reply yet, so I guess we'll listen to some of the voicemails that we have here. In the meantime, we have 4 voicemails from the same person. I don't know who this person is, so if you're the one who left the 4 voicemails, please identify yourself so I can block your number. Just kidding. That'd be mean. But let's go ahead and listen to this first voicemail. Let's see here.
It was Avery, by the way.
How about this for the jingle?
Oh, it is Avery.
Mad snaps, snap, crackle, pop, boom.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Avery for that lovely submission for what our jingle should be. Maybe it should be just be that. I'll just record that and then use... Anyways. We do have a second voicemail from Avery. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Okay, so in terms of Club Cool closing, you notice that it's going away. At least you're still able to get like the Beverly, Mountain Frosty at the Coke Rooftop Bar at Disney Springs, even though that there'll be a cost to it, so it will no longer be free. And Club Cool will be coming back. Will be reopening a new capacity. We don't know when, and we don't know where it is. But one thing's for sure, it won't be the same when it reopens, but you can still get the drinks from Cool will be coming back.
I accidentally cut it off by accident, so we're
We don't
playing it
know
again.
when, and we don't know where it is. But one thing's for sure, it won't be the same when it reopens, but you can still get the drinks from Cool at Disney Springs, so there's that. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Well, thanks, Mr. Avery, for sending in that second voicemail. Yeah, I do believe Club Cool will reopen in some capacity in Epcot's future world, and it's... What are the new names of it? World
Celebration.
World Celebration.
And...
World Hunger? No.
World Hunger. I don't think that's it. Matt.
Well, if you guys know in chat, you can send it or text it to me. Whatever. We do have one. Actually, we have 2 more voicemails from Avery. Let's go ahead and listen to this third one.
Yeah, it is sad that the Founding of Nations is going away. It's really sad. Because that fountain contains water from 23 countries. 23 because 1923, very important year for the Disney company. Yeah, it is sad. Like it's supposed to be like a representation of unity, an idea of unity. Well, there goes that idea, I guess. But yeah, it's future world or world celebration is really going to be changing. It really is. Kind of sad, but change in this time is inevitable. I guess we can all agree on that, right?
I guess we can all agree on that, Avery. Thank you so much. Last but not least, here we go.
I agree
This is not
with
about
Alex.
Epcot.
It's certainly not fair that doofus stole all that stuff from Haunted Mansion and Wonder of Life. It's just not fair that what he's done. He has to ruin the nostalgia. He has to ruin everyone's love for these attractions. It's just not right. And he's claiming that he's not guilty when all the evidence points to him. Like, it's ridiculous. He deserves to be punished for his wrongdoings. You can't just walk into an attraction, take a prop, and act like it's normal. It's not. It's not. Like, he deserves it. He deserves to get punished.
My gosh, Avery's going ham on this poor guy. I mean, all he did was steal $7,000 worth of merchandise from inside the Haunted Mansion, but Avery over here is saying he should get the electric chair. Gosh. But anyways, thank you to Mr. Avery for sending in those 4 lovely voicemails. If you guys would like to call in, leave your own voicemail, 575-386-5814. Discussing, you can leave your thoughts on whatever we're talking about. And we do have two text messages here. Let's see. This is from, doesn't have a name attached. Here's my question, Matt. If you had to keep the original 1998 theme of Tomorrowland, what changes and new ideas would you add to the land? I guess isn't it an option to keep the 98? I guess that's the stipulation. You have to keep the original theme. I guess the changes I'd make would be to demolish the whole thing and build it from the ground up related to that theme. Just duplicate Discoveryland. Don't repaint everything. Don't try to cram in an attraction on the People Mover tracks when the track was obviously not made for a thrill attraction. Very interesting question. Thank you so much. And we do have one final question. This is from, I believe this is from Vetter in chat. So let's see. Do you think they will demolish Downtown Disney to build a third gate, or are they going to put the third gate on the Toy Story lot? I do not think they will demolish Downtown Disney to build a third gate. Yeah, probably Toy Story lot or across the street near where all the hotels are. That's the most likely place, in my opinion, for a third gate to be built. Downtown Disney is kind of I feel like Downtown Disney is kind of irrelevant nowadays. I mean, I don't know. That could just be me. I don't necessarily shop at all the shops on Downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney is more relevant now than it was, a year or two ago. They've been able to secure more partnerships with other companies that have opened up there that are more popular.
Okay.
Especially like Salt and Straw, and they're doing much better than Haagen-Dazs was. So, yeah, I think they're doing much better. And you know what's actually kind of funny is that one of the reasons why they wouldn't get rid of Downtown Disney for building another park is they really like having all of that retail in one place. It's like my business partner calls it free money because
actually,
frankly, it's like when you sell merchandise, it's like it doesn't cost you anything. It's like once the merchandise is sold, it pays itself back plus some. So it's free money.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up. I know this is like way off topic to what our actual second topic of the day is, but people have to walk through downtown Disney from the Disneyland Hotel to get to Disneyland. So it's almost like it's exactly like Alex said. It's literally free. People walk through there from their morning commute from the hotels to Disneyland, and they walk through all the stores. They see, oh my gosh, we should go to Build-A-Bear. Oh wait, no, Build-A-Bear is closed. Oh my gosh, we should go to Black Tap and get a smoothie or something. It's actually, I guess now that Alex brings it up, it's pretty genius. I guess it's not that genius. It's pretty smart. I'll give it to Disney. Kevin says in chat from Facebook, I'm gonna shout out every single message we get from Facebook just because it's Facebook. Let's see. Matt and Alex, we're going to be visiting Disneyland for the first time in October. What's one food and photo op we should get to complete the experience? From Kevin. We'll answer this and then we'll get into our second topic of the day. Let's see. I think it's cliche, but I'm going to say get the churros from the churro cart on Main Street near the Plaza Inn. Those are a must-have, in my opinion, if you go to Disneyland. If you're a fan of corn dogs, if you're a fan of greasy food, 100% I'd say get the churros. For me, it's a tie between that or either the fried chicken from the Plaza Inn. Also, separate note, the roast from the Plaza Inn is very underrated. I don't see a lot of people talking about the roast from the Plaza Inn. I had that when I went in December last week with Alex and Chris over the fried chicken because I had previously had it a few nights before. I love roast. You can't go wrong with a nice pot roast. And Disneyland sure did it justice. So, yeah, those are my three options for you, Kevin. Either a corn dog from the corn dog cart, or what is it, like the Red Baron's corn dog cart? Something. The Red Wagon is what it's called, I think. Either that or the fried chicken from the Plaza Inn, or if you don't like either of those, you can't go wrong with a nice order of the roast from the Plaza Inn as well. As for photo ops, I'm not really sure what photo ops are at Disneyland. I guess just the castle photo op, maybe? Well, Alex, briefly, what was the question again? Let's see. What is one food and photo op Kevin should do to complete his experience at Disneyland?
It's hard for me to say because every time I find a food that I like at Disneyland, they get rid of it. So
yeah,
I literally don't really have any that I can recommend because so I'll just skip that and go to photo op. I think I think everyone has the usual castle, so you can't really say that because that's not really fair. Everyone goes to the castle, takes a picture. I think a good photo op is right over by It's a Small World. There's a little toy store on the left. If you go around to the left side of the toy store, you get this angled view of the facade of It's a Small World with the TikTok clock going. If you take a picture with your family there, you have this really great photograph that you get to walk away with. I always thought that was a nice spot, but it's not usually advertised as a photo spot. But that's just me.
Yeah, I can't really think of I don't know if he means designated, because Lynette said there are areas around the park marked as specific photo areas where you have cast members there taking pictures. I don't know if he meant that or just any place in the park to take a picture.
The park has designated Nikon photo spots, so they're not always staffed by a cast member. but there are markers in the planters, and it shows like a picture of a generic family,
Yeah.
and it says Nikon photo spot. It used to say Kodak photo spot, but anyway. Yeah, so there's those, and it gives you a good hint as to where's a good place to take a picture. But often those places are overcrowded with people taking their picture. So I try to find angles and places where most people don't usually take their photograph. So even if you don't want to take your photograph next to It's a Small World, another one would be like
I feel like on the waterfronts of the rivers of America with like the Mark Twain in the background would be a neat picture.
Yeah. That always makes a good picture.
Or on the Mark Twain. That's a good one as well.
Yeah, but when you're on the Mark Twain, you can't take a picture of the Mark Twain.
That's true. That's right. That's true. Anyways, yeah, we should probably move on to our second topic of the day, because we do have another topic to discuss after this. Yeah, very interesting second topic here today, which is courtesy of Mr. Alex the Historian, which is courtesy of the OC Register. So get your OC Register emojis ready in chat, you guys, which is the evil horns emoji. Smiling evil horns emoji. It's called like smiling imp, I think. But anyways, for our second topic, we'd like to talk about the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay in Disneyland. Now, as many of you know, the Haunted Mansion transforms to the popular Haunted Mansion holiday based on the film The Nightmare Before Christmas once every year. Normally, this transformation takes 18 days to complete. Let's see, I guess that's roughly 2.5 weeks. But this year, you guys, this year, Disney sure stepped up their game. I don't know what they gave their workers, their maintenance workers, but Disneyland staff had managed to cut that time nearly in half to 11 days. That's, like I said, nearly in half. It's pretty crazy. Disney Parks Live Entertainment Technical Director Joe Peters said, "It's been crazy. My team knows what they're doing, and surprisingly, I appear to be the least stressed of everybody, which I think is bothering them more than me." Very interesting. Alex, what are your overall, I guess, thoughts on the Haunted Mansion holiday coming 11 days instead of 18 days early to the Disneyland park?
Well, it's funny because I remember like in the early 2000s when they first started doing the Haunted Mansion holiday, it used to take almost a month to transform the whole thing. I say almost. It was really more like 24 days to do it. And it took a while. And they've, in the past decade or so, they've been able to bring that down to 18 days, which was their usual thing. Because they have a way that they set up doing it. So some of the decorations are in the ride, just hidden, or put away, and a lot of the other decorations are like, let's say, right in the back of the ride outside in sheds, and other decorations are off property. However, the reason why they brought it down to 11 days this year, I think, had to do with the low crowd numbers overall at Disney. They want to bring those people in, and I think their hopes were that the sooner they got the mansion open, the sooner people would start coming into the park and stuff like that. I was pretty surprised as to how quickly they got it done. I mean, it was just incredible. But yeah, I think it has to do with the low crowd numbers, and the mansion does bring in a lot of people. And what's funny is, the official Halloween season for Disney doesn't start till September 12th. So so the mansion is open early. It usually doesn't open till September 12th. So that's pretty cool. I think that if they could manage to figure out things better, then they can do it in 11 days every single year. But I think part of the reason why they got it done so fast was because they said that they brought in a lot more staff than they usually have to do it all in a matter of 11 days.
Mm. Yeah, it is a very interesting topic. I feel like we've maybe touched on this in the past. The topic of bruh sound effect. I don't feel like searching through my sound effects to find it, but insert bruh sound effect here. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people do complain that the Haunted Mansion holiday comes early because it is technically a Christmas themed attraction, not necessarily a Halloween themed attraction. So this is sort of, extending those people's beliefs of whether or not this attraction, or I guess this overlay, overstays its welcome. I think it overstays its welcome. I do.
I do too.
Because it is I haven't been during the Halloween time. I've been during Christmas time. It's nice to visit Disneyland during the Christmas time, and you get to see, this overlay. But I can see how people, annual pass holders, maybe like Alex or people in chat who are annual pass holders who go to the park on a regular basis, they want to see their regular Haunted Mansion. They don't want to see a Christmas-themed overlay in September, which is even a month from October, not even Halloween time, too.
I love the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay, but the thing is like 5 solid months of it is not fun. I mean, it's there from September through late January.
Months?
Yeah, it's there from early September through late January, sometimes early February, depending on how they schedule their refurbs. But yeah, it's there for 5 months. Wow, that means almost half of the year has the Haunted Mansion holiday as its Christmas themed overlay. And that just is ridiculous to me, because despite what people like to say, the movie is a Christmas movie, not a Halloween movie. I mean, it has hints of Halloween in it, but that doesn't make it a Halloween movie. It's a Christmas movie. And the ride is especially a Christmas ride, because the whole ride is about how he decked out the Haunted Mansion for Christmas. So it's just weird, It's just like he's saying Merry Christmas, everyone, on September 12th. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, like I said to people, I love Haunted Mansion Holiday. I just think it's here for way too long out of the year. And I know that some people are like, oh, well, we come from, out of state, and and it's nice to have it available for longer. So I understand that completely. But most of Disneyland's visitors are made up of locals or people who visit very, very frequently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to make the parks tailored to the people that visit most, or the largest demographic, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And the largest demographic is locals and frequent visitors. So it's just annoying. It's like I didn't even get to say my metaphorical goodbye to the Haunted Mansion 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
I forgot that it was closing down for Haunted Mansion Holiday. I didn't even get to ride it one last time officially. So it just closed, and it's like, now I won't see it for another 5 months. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I was not aware that this overlay happened for 5 months. That's literally almost half a year. That's crazy to think. And I know a lot of people say it feels like every day Halloween starts starts earlier and earlier. Same with Christmas. I guess this is confirmation, you guys, that Halloween, or I guess that Christmas time, I don't even know if they're putting this up, because we've said it's a Christmas themed overlay, but then they put it up. Did they always start putting it up during Halloween time, or was it always during Christmas in the beginning?
In the beginning, it was only Christmas time. So in the beginning, it showed up November 12th and ended at the end of January. And then they 1 year, they just decided to do it in September for the Halloween season, because it was such a popular thing. And they realized it would bring more people during the Halloween season, which is something they need. I mean, it's a Small World holiday, does its Christmas overlay, and that brings people during Christmas time. But Halloween had no Halloween themed rides back then. Now today we technically have Ghost Galaxy, Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy. And speaking of which, this year they're not doing Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy.
Yeah.
That in itself was a huge surprise because personally, I look forward to Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy. But now we have to deal with Hyperspace Mountain, which we've had all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's annoying because it's like there's already a Star Wars themed land on the other side of the park. There's Star Tours in Tomorrowland. You already have something for Star Wars people in 2 areas of the park. It's like, do you really need to make the classic Space Mountain stay Hyperspace Mountain all this time? So yeah, I'm gonna miss Ghost Galaxy this year. I'm really gonna miss it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we necessarily touched on the fact that Ghost Galaxy was not returning. I remember seeing that on Twitter. I guess we just forgot to mention it in our show. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, Ghost Galaxy is not returning. Hyperspace Mountain, it is very... I need to sneeze. Holy cow.
Get ready, everyone. Get ready.
Okay, I managed to stave it off for a bit. Yeah, I guess that can sort of open up a whole separate topic about when Disney's going to start removing all the Star Wars branding and attractions from Tomorrowland now that Galaxy's Edge is open. I mean, we talked about this in the past about before Galaxy's Edge opened when they're going to start removing that, but I guess we can save that for maybe we can save that for another day. Unless you guys want to hear us talk about it now. I mean, I'm not opposed to about when Disney will eventually remove all the Star Wars attractions, or I guess branding from Tomorrowland, now that Galaxy's Edge is open.
Oh, boy. You know, I thought it was going to be as soon as they opened Galaxy's Edge, and then that ended up being wrong. And now they're saying that that Star Wars themed stuff is going to remain in the parks until further notice, which could mean next year or the year after.
It could mean 100 years, you guys. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
So, I don't know. I just, I don't like too much of one thing in the park. I don't know. There's also a part of me that's kind of like I don't know the word at the moment, but where I feel like things need to be organized and in one place, centralized. And Star Wars, it's like you have a land for that. Just move everything you want there. It's just like, why does it have to be in Tomorrowland? But I mean, that's an obvious answer. I know why. Star Wars makes money. Star Wars brings in the people.
And Tomorrowland sucks. People wouldn't go there if there was no Star Wars stuff. Haven't you guys seen the lines for Path of the Jedi? It's booming, you guys.
I haven't seen any lines for that. I wasn't even sure it was still open.
Where's my bruh sound effect?
Bruh.
Anyways, yeah, that's a whole separate discussion I'm sure we can get into in a future episode. Let's see. Someone said above, where was it? Chris M said, if I recall, the director of the movie of The Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton, declared that the movie is in fact a Halloween movie. Timmy boy, if you're listening, at me on Twitter, is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Hey Google, is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
On the website cosmopolitan.com, they say, and the answer is, it's a Halloween movie. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
Well,
yeah,
Google
but
said
you know what's funny is that, so Tim Burton, as far as I'm aware, says it's a Christmas movie. And he's the one who created it. So, I mean, it has Halloween in it, but I mean, okay, let's just put it this way. When you watch the movie, literally 9/10 of the movie all takes place during the Christmas season. And it's all about getting everything ready for Christmas time. It's completely a Christmas movie. When you ride the ride, all the references in the Haunted Mansion holiday are all Christmas references, all about how Jack Skellington has decorated the house for Christmas. So, I mean, you can use jack-o'-lanterns and skeletons all you want, but the whole story and the ride is all centered around Christmas time. So it's a Christmas movie and a Christmas ride. I mean, that's why it was only open during Christmas time when they first started. Otherwise, they would have just left it all year long or whatever it is now. So yeah, it's Christmas. I mean, I feel like some of these people, like the producer and all that, who are saying this, they're being paid to say it.
Probably. Well, I have an interesting article from Cosmopolitan, your most reliable source of news from 2019, you guys. Cosmopolitan says, well, the director of the film, Henry Selick, answered once and for all whether the movie is meant for Christmas or Halloween during a Q&A at Colorado's Telluride Horror Show Film Festival? Telluride? I don't know. And the answer is, quote, it's a Halloween movie. He explained that if you're asking the people who made the film, it's a movie about Halloween and the people of Halloween and how they react to something like Christmas. I mean, that's from Cosmopolitan, though, so don't take that with a grain of salt, but anyways.
I mean, okay, when did the movie come? You know what? I'm going to do a Google search here.
I think someone in chat said that the movie came out released on Halloween. Lynette said it was released for Halloween in 1993, so we'll see. But then again, it does have the word Christmas in the name. Larry, thank you for pointing that out.
October 13th. Gosh, this is so confusing.
I'm just going to call Tim Burton. Does he have like a hotline or something I can call him at?
Yeah, he's got a phone number. I can give it to you.
Okay. If it's the number to the Poop Institute again, Alex, I'm going to be very upset.
You know it's your favorite place to call, Matt.
Maybe he has a Twitter. Tim Burton.
They'll make you pull up a stool and sit.
Guys, I'm gonna tweet at Tim Burton. Everybody needs to know. The people need to know. All right, where is his Twitter account? Tim Burton.
I think it's at Crazy Hair.
Okay, when I search Tim Burton, nothing comes up. Okay, Tim W. Burton. Tim W. Do I have him blocked? Oh no, I don't. Here we go. His last tweet was from 2012. Welcome to my nightmare. I don't think he's very active on Twitter. Anyways, what a great topic we have here. Well, I don't know what this turned into. Well, Timmy boy, if you're watching, please just let us know in the chat. Is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie? I should put like a straw poll up. I'm gonna way off topic. We're gonna get to the final topic. I promise. I'm gonna put up a straw poll, and I want everybody here to vote on whether you think it's a Christmas movie or whether
That's ridiculous.
You think
they're all gonna say it's Halloween because it's the main character is a skeleton.
Is the Nightmare
or you could
Before
argue
Christmas
the main character is Santa Claus.
I haven't seen the movie still, so I don't.
What?
I told you about this when we were first going on the ride. You remember? And then you recapped the ride for me while we were standing outside the queue.
I must have suppressed that memory.
Okay, is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Let's see. Enter poll option. Christmas. How do you spell Halloween? Whatever.
Oh my god.
I think I spelled Christmas wrong. Here we go. All right. Posting this to all of the channels here. I want you guys to vote. We'll come back to this at the end of the episode, and we'll see what you guys happen to come up with. I'm voting Christmas. Let's see. Now we can go ahead and move on to our final topic of the day. We managed to pad like 15 minutes talking about that, so that's good. For our final topic of the day, this was another topic brought to us by Mr. Alex the Historian. He proposed me with this topic. He said, very late at night, or was it this morning? I asked him. It doesn't matter. For our third and final topic, we'd like to talk about the state of Disneyland. Now, since this topic is entirely from Mr. Alex the Historian's brain, it's his baby, this topic is, he told me. Why don't you go ahead and detail what this topic will, what people can expect from the discussion going forward about this.
We can expect many more vocabulary mistakes by Matterhorn Matt.
Ooh.
As well as the fact that, so this topic, I didn't want to make it overly dramatic because, I mean, the topic is about the decaying state of Disneyland. But again, I didn't want it to sound overly dramatic because there are projects currently happening at this very moment where they're refreshing things. So it's not 100% like, you know, a Jerry Springer drama kind of thing. So, but the things I wanted to talk about was just like some of the basic stuff that's being neglected around the park that didn't used to be neglected, let's say like 20 years ago, even during the darkest of times, the Paul Pressler era. So anyway, you know, like for instance, I was walking around Adventureland last week and there is a lantern in the middle of the walkway. It's, if you guys know it very well, it's those little wooden, like, looks like tree branches, and they're painted with like tiger stripes. And so they're kind of cool looking and they hold like little lanterns and stuff. Well, every week I come to the park and more of it has been broken off. And last week when I came there, it was completely in half. There was no more to it. It was just like, and it was, they duct taped it and painted the duct tape. And that's not the only one that's damaged. There's like two more just down the Adventureland walkway that is damaged. And I'm like, why haven't they replaced it? It's been at least 2 months by now. I mean, I have seen the Disney company, literally, I've seen a trash truck knock over a balcony post in Frontierland. And they had the carpenters come over, carve out a new post, paint it, lacquer it, and install it in about 2 hours before the park even opened. And yet they can't do these basic repairs. So there's more stuff. So I've been noticing a lot of the bricks along Main Street, not the ones that have been recently redone, but the older ones, they're getting pretty loose, and those can be filled in with sand. The seams between them, the cracks between them, can be filled in with sand to prevent them from getting loose or moving around. And that's actually very simple. That's the whole reason why they installed bricks along Main Street and replaced the old red slurry concrete that they used to have, was because with these bricks, they last forever and you can always put sand between them to prevent them from moving. And they haven't. So some more things are just the paint jobs in a lot of areas of the park are completely chipping and cracking without any touch-ups. Disney used to do touch-ups on the paint, and they don't do that. They usually wait till the state of it looks pretty terrible before they finally just go and, you know, have painters spend the whole night painting the thing. Which in the end, the painters are working even into the operating hours of the park. So, and you can see that sometimes you go down Main Street and you can see painters on Main Street working, and that's not the way it's supposed to be done. It's supposed to be done middle of the night when no one can see it. And it's not an issue of if it's not bright enough. The park has floodlights all over it that they turn on in the middle of the night. So that way the people who are washing the walkways and things like that can see what they're doing very well. Very bright floodlights. So there's things like that. As well as just lots of cracked concrete everywhere. And the state of the Disneyland Railroad. I mean, I know we discussed this a couple weeks ago, but it's still pretty terrible. You go on the railroad, there's chipped paint everywhere, rust, things like that. It's just Main Street Station. Anyone who has an annual pass, go to Main Street Station. Anywhere you look on that building, it is completely dilapidated. The rain gutters, the water gutters that drain the rain from the rooftops, have massive rusted out holes in them. Just blatantly, just completely rusted through. The shingles are falling off the building. You know, the woodwork is rotting. And I was looking at a video the other day that was taken last year, and it had a lot of the same damage in the video. So I'm like, this damage has been around for a whole year, and it's right in front where everyone can see, and they haven't done anything about it, you know? And so it's just getting, and so the past couple of weeks, it's just been really getting to me, because these are really basic things that Disney used to do overnight, just little touch-ups, things that prevent a lot of preventative maintenance and stuff like that. Something as simple as, you know, taking some, you know, a hammer and some nails and, you know, and hammering back into place some pieces of wood and stuff like that. I mean, it's really basic stuff, and it's all been suffering for at least 2 years now, if not more. I mean, I've got some friends that will say, oh, it's been longer than that. And so I'll just let them have their way. But nevertheless, it's been really bad, and it's kind of scaring me, because it's just like, you know, the longer you let this stuff sit, the worse it's going to get. And the projects they are working on now, I feel like some of them are not all that necessary. It's more just like, I don't know, it's just something that should be last on the priority list. I know that right now the Tomorrowland rock work and stuff like that is necessary for, you know, the comfort of the guests trying to get around Tomorrowland and stuff like that. But there are just things. I mean, look at the monorail track in Tomorrowland. It is so just in need of repair and replacement in some areas. I know in my monorail video I discussed how strong the beams are and how safe they are, but there is a limit. When water can penetrate through the beams and rust out the metal supports that keep it in shape, the beams will break apart once that is rusted out and damaged. As well as the bolts that hold the beams in place. A lot of them are bent out of shape. I've seen them when I'm on the Disneyland Railroad. I look over, and it's just, so the state of things is starting to become alarming, because in some areas it's just getting so bad. You can have infestations of things like termites and stuff like that, which has in the past been a problem at Disneyland. Termites are a problem. And the way to prevent them is to keep on top of it, continue to refurbish things. That way the termites can't live inside of very many things in the park. It's just a lot of preventative maintenance that is seriously lacking. And so while there are projects currently going around to refresh the park, repaint things or whatever, it's just not in the right areas, and it's not enough. So I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention, because maybe perhaps somebody of influence will see this, and they will know that now people know. So that's kind of the whole point behind this. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed my last couple rides on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, as you're passing through the scenes where, like, you see on the left with the pirate and all the gold and the treasure and stuff, if you look up, there's just like a big hole in the ceiling for no reason. It's almost like something broke off and just fell in the water, and they just haven't like repaired it. If you guys, I'm sure if Chris links one of his videos in the chat of the Pirates of the Caribbean, you probably will be able to see it.
The speaker.
Is it for the? I think it was for the speaker. Yeah, I did see.
Yeah. The speaker is hidden up in the rock work above you, and it has like a little reach through area so they can adjust the speaker and do stuff, and they usually keep that closed so that way there's a light next to it, a blue light, and to prevent the blue light from shining into that cavity and allowing you to see through the rock work, they usually keep it closed. They haven't closed it when they last redid Pirates of the Caribbean, when they added back in the Paul Frees narration. And I don't know why. And now that blue light shines into the cavity and you can full on see through the rock work, see the speaker, everything. Everyone, every time I ride that ride, the passengers are all looking up going, whoa, there's a speaker there. And it shouldn't be like that at all. I was there Wednesday, and Mateo and I were walking along the submarine lagoon, and I was doing a quick part of the vlog. I was shooting with my camera, and after I turned off the camera, he pointed out to me that the rock that I was standing next to, I didn't even realize this, but the rock that I was standing next to had a big hole in it that, I mean, I'm talking like 2 feet by 3 feet. That's how big the hole was. And they had sealed it with layers of duct tape.
Oh, really?
Yes, that they painted to look like rock work.
Huh.
And I was like, whoa. So they went through the trouble to paint it with all the intricate details of rock work. But they didn't go through the trouble to build a permanent housing for the fake rock work, like made out of plaster or something that would last a little bit longer than tape. You know, like that was weird to me, you know. And you could the only reason why he noticed it was because the paint had been there, the tape had been there for so long, the tape was peeling along the edges, it was curling away from the rock work. And the layers, because the tape was just, it's like they took like bunches of tape and then just layered it one after another all the way down the rock, and they were all peeling away from each other. It just looked awful. And I was so flabbergasted by that. I was like, wait, if you're gonna take the time, which it must have took a couple hours to paint all that tape to look like the rock, they could have put a shell made of some very basic plaster work, or even I don't know, like a fiberglass panel, and put it over that, and then carefully sealed it in place until the next time they could come out and completely redo the concrete. But they didn't. They chose to do it with tape. The craziness of it all is just ridiculous. Missing lamp posts, rotting wood, rusted out pipes and drainage, and then a rock that is 3 feet tall made out of duct tape. Unbelievable.
I mean, that's some next level engineering, though. They managed to tape it and then paint over it, and it lasted for, I mean, it's still there, I'm presuming, so that's some next level. They must use some flex tape, you guys, to paint that, I
knew someone was going to make a flex tape joke.
I just went ahead and did it first so no one else wouldn't chat. I took one for the team. Maybe next time when you're in the park, you can film a rock.
No, see, this is what I told Mateo, because Mateo said the same thing. He goes, I'm surprised you didn't film it. I said, Mateo, I said, normally I film things that displease me about the park, but I said, with this rock work, I said, there is a limit where I feel like if I film it, it just makes Disney look so much worse. I said, like, even there's things that even I'm too embarrassed to film about Disneyland, and that's why I didn't film it, and that's why I won't film it. I just felt like, no, that's not, I don't want people 10 years from now to see this and be like, oh, so that's Disneyland? Yeah, I'm not going. Because it's like, that's not what Disneyland is. That's just what the Bobs have done to it.
The Bobs. Every time.
Not just the Bob, but both Bobs.
Bobby and
the Bobberts.
Bob? Oh, they're both. I don't know what I was just thinking just now. I was about to say, wait a minute, both of her names are Bob. Because I was trying to think, Bob Chapek. I was trying to think of what his first name was, and then I was like, wait a minute, his first name's Bob, so is Bob Iger? I think I, for some reason, thought Bob was their last name. It's been a long day, you guys, but anyways, maybe when I'm in the parks this December, I'll go ahead and take a video if it's still there, post it to my Instagram, tag WW News Today, hashtag DLFix, you guys. Someone gets that joke. But anyways, yeah, very interesting topic. I'd love to hear all your guys' thoughts on this specific topic. I know I have seen firsthand, like I said, with the speaker, the exposed speaker in Pirates of the Caribbean. Very interesting. I couldn't take a picture of it because it was so dark, but we'll go ahead and end it on this. We have, how many votes do we have? 23 votes on our straw poll. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Which one do you guys think is winning? We'll take bets. $5 for the Haunted Mansion, $10 for... All right, wait, $5 for Halloween, $10 for Christmas. Place your bets in chat, you guys. We're going to get some
illegal.
Some pigskin romping. What's like a gambling term? Blackjack? I don't know. I'm assuming you guys are going to be surprised. A lot of people said that it's Halloween, 14 votes to 9 votes. I'm assuming that's just people from here trolling, choosing Halloween just because we say it's a Christmas movie. I'll leave. I guess I tweeted the poll out. We'll see if we get more votes. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what was up with this Snapple. It smells... doesn't really smell like Snapple. It smells like... I mean, I can smell, like, the Snapple, but... there's, like, a hint of, like, tar or something? I can't quite make out what the smell is. I can't make out, like, what that hint... the hint... Anyways, it's been a great stream.
You're not drinking from a smoker's spittoon, are you?
I hope not. I'm pretty sure this cup was clean. Yeah, no, this cup was fresh out of the dishwasher. I mean, unless my parents washed it with tar or something. But anyways, thank you everybody for coming out to today's stream. It's been a really great stream. I'm surprised we managed to talk as much as we did with these 3 topics. We couldn't really find any major topics to talk about this week, so I had Alex take one for the team and send in a few of his topics that he'd like to talk about. So big shout out to Alex for carrying today's show, as he does with every show.
I'm the whole reason why, I mean, not just for the whole show, but I'm the whole reason why this show even happened today. Because he had no topics. So.
Bruh. It's a bro moment. That's a bro moment. Yeah, I could not find any topics to talk about for today, so thank you to Mr. Alex, a historian, for supplying me. Like, it feels weird saying supplying me with these topics. It's like I met him in a back alley and we did like a drug deal. Hey, Alex, $500 for these 3 topics. And he pulls out opens his trench coat to the side and there's like lining with topics and stuff. Anyways, yeah, it's been a long day. So, like I said, thank you to everybody for coming out to today's episode. We really appreciate every single one of you. And like I said, link to the Matt Snaps pin will be in the description below. And I forgot to mention this as well at the top of the episode. If you guys are a bobsledder tier on my Patreon page, you will be getting one of these Matt Snaps pins, as well as one of the original run Matterhorn Matt pins, done up almost more than a year ago. I feel like I started selling these. So, yeah, I decided every time I come out with a new pin, patrons will get a pin for supporting the channel, bobsledder tiers, as well as a copy of the previous pin that had been selling. So, this is the current one, and this is the previous one, so they're getting both of them. Only if you're a bobsledder tier, though. So head on over to my Patreon page in the description down below. As well, you guys can head on over to Alex the Historian's YouTube channel down in the description as well. I believe I have Alex's Twitter linked in the description. I should.
Mm-hmm. And if not, they can always visit my website to find any information about me or about my channel, or even about how to get a hold of me, or anything, even my social media links. They can find all that on my website. It's very easy. It's just alexthehistorian. It's just alexthehistorian.com.
And I have it pulled up here for you guys to see. It's a really well-made website. Why don't you go ahead and shout out who made your website? It's very lovely.
Yes, so my good friend Jason made this website. Jason has his own website. It's called Interactive Realm. Jason's actually, he does some really cool stuff. So especially for all you Disney fans, Jason makes crafts and different projects and things like 3 dimensions. He makes signs, he makes 3-dimensional decorative pieces, anything. And a lot of the times people ask him to make Disney themed stuff. And one of his most famous clients is Justin Scard. Justin Scard likes to have props and things made to display around his house. And sometimes he calls upon Jason to do that for him. And even, I believe, Bob Gurr has been in a few of Jason's videos, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do believe he's designing something for Bob Gurr. I might, if I have that correctly. But nevertheless, Jason does some really awesome, amazing stuff. And as a matter of fact, when I have the money, I want to hire him to build me a model of the It's a Small World TikTok clock, a working model. So he and I have been discussing that and how it's going to be done, how to get it to work and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. So yeah, Jason, you can find his links to his YouTube channel and website in the description of my videos, especially my latest one. So yeah.
Yes, everybody go out, support Jason and Alex as well. Like I said, link to Alex's channel will be in the description below. As well, link to puckermint.com. Use code MMDays for 15% off your order. You can still get a pre-order your California Disneyland themed pin and get a free sticker included. Very great deal. I believe it's only $8 or $10, which is that's like a $15 value. So, yeah, anyways, thank you all for coming out to today's episode. We can't wait to see what kind of Disney news we have in store for next week. If you guys have any topics you'd like to suggest to us, comment down below, tweet them at me, do whatever you want. You can mail some topics to me, print out a web page from the ocregister.com, put it in an envelope and send it to my physical address. I'm not opposed
Send
to
him
that.
some arsenic.
Yeah,
anything.
I'm totally fine with that. That's not even being sarcastic. That'd be pretty cool. I've been thinking about opening a P.O. box anyways, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not saying you should send me arsenic, but I'm not saying that you should not send me arsenic. So we'll just leave it at that. Anyways.
He's also not saying to feed him ricin, so...
Exactly. If you guys want to send some anthrax in the mail to my P.O. box, totally fine with me. You might get in trouble. The U.S. Postal Service might catch you, but, it's not my fault. It's your fault. You can probably mail it through, the dark web or something to my house or something, and the USPS won't be able to identify what's inside. But anyways, yeah. Thank you to everybody for coming out to today's episode. And as always, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Bye.